very interesting because we get to keep our students a lot longer than other academic classes. So a lot of these students I've had for 4 years, and then many of them were also choir members in middle school. So some of them I may know up to 6, 7 years. I've admired their resilience of how they've had to deal with all of the things that have been taken away this year or changed. And they've taken the lead in choir and they've just run with it.
I said family. That's been something I've preached since day one. I'm real big on unity, whether it be we're learning in senior English or 10th grade English or whatever it may be. That's how I look at it. And this group of seniors was my first year. They were freshmen when I got here. And so to start instilling that in them at that point and to watch it kind of turn into what it's turned into now, and the people sitting in the classroom as well as myself, we care. I just think it's something that it's a big deal. It's something that I've just brought with me from where I was, and it's a big deal for me. So.
Creativity. The atmosphere we have here at CHS, everyone's allowed to express themselves how they feel and not be judged for it.
It's definitely legendary.
I would have to say family.
I would say friendship. I feel like a lot of people get along with each other here.
I totally believe that it's diverse and that it's changed towards better inclusion.
I think inclusive. Chillicothe has a lot of people from diverse backgrounds. We do a good job of celebrating our differences.
I would definitely say diverse. There's lots of different cliques. Everyone fits in somewhere, and it's just really great.
I like to see it as like the teachers, the students, just everyone as like one big family.
I would say it's pretty chill. We're all friends here. We can say hi to anyone.
Going off that, I would probably say personal.
Diverse. You can be whoever you want to be.
Challenging, and that's not a bad thing. I feel like at CHS, you're always being pushed to do better, and there's always going to be some kind of opportunity for self-improvement.
I would say the culture is very diverse.
Just with the last 2 years, I've seen such growth in them, which makes me want to be better, be it by their maturity with handling the different COVID and remote learning, and have excelled in so many different areas that it just really blows my mind how amazing they are.
They mature because they come to you as 14-year-old, 13-year-old. At that moment, you think you're pretty full grown and you're just ready to move out and get a job and just live on your own. You're not. You know it as the teacher. They're not really cognizant of it. And so they mature simply just due to physiological reasons. But the real maturity comes when they begin to realize that being a child is starting to fade a little. And they start to realize that the ability to be a kid and just worry about kid things that you do in high school are never going to happen again.
I think they did a lot of maturing this year, to be quite honest, because when you lose half of your junior year and then you come back and everything's all upside down. You know, we couldn't perform on the stage. We couldn't sing in here for an entire class period. And I feel like that they have rolled with the punches and came up with some great creative ideas on how we could do other things. I think those are the kind of skills that they're going to use as adults.
They have just become more focused. Most of them have become more relaxed and learned to have fun with it. And but most of the things this year especially is they have realized how good they really are, and they've really worked to improve upon themselves as athletes and swimmers.
Friends, definitely friends. I always had someone to talk to. It's always been like we've been like guinea pigs, so we're all together and they've all helped me push through anything that I didn't understand or just the crazy movements.
Becoming more comfortable with myself.
Definitely friends and extracurriculars. Exercise and take care of yourself.
Definitely the support of all the teachers and students and my friends and family.
I'd say I've just been trying to go with the flow and have fun regardless of the situation.
My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
I would say my faith is a big one. It allows me to know like how to treat people, and it keeps me hopeful. And then I would also say my family and community.
Always looking at the bigger picture, just knowing that no matter how crazy it gets, there's always the bigger picture at the end.
For me, I feel like it was just football. It was just like my place to get away from everything.
I would have to say my friends, my family, my supportive staff members, and my aspirations.
Mainly just my teammates through the sports that I play,
on and off the field, even when there are no sports.
I think my teachers and classmates really helped me through, and they were always there for me when I needed them.
I would say words of advice. Don't hide from your mistakes. Keep moving forward. In other words, fake it till you make it.
The best advice I can give, and I'm deadly serious about it, is don't quit being a kid. This world that we live in, due to a lot of extrinsic factors, really cause us to feel like we need to hurry up and grow up. And we sometimes experience adult things, we sometimes find ourselves caught in adult moments. And so don't ever lose that childish inhibition to just laugh.
Don't worry about making the most money, but make the most memories in your life, because at the end of this life, you don't get to take anything with you, but you always have your memories.
I think you have to continue to grow. I think that's something I would tell any kid that walked through my door into my classroom, is that when you left here, are you better than when you got here? And I think that you then take that into the world, continue to get better.
I think I've become more of a team player and learned how to work well with other people.
Well, coming into high school freshman year, I was very crazy, I guess. Through my experiences here at Charlie High School, I've become much more respectful and appreciative of other people.
I would say freshman year, I kind of had this mindset that everything comes easy. But I think I had to kind of change that, as life got harder and high school got harder. So I think I've matured in that aspect.
I think I've changed a lot. I've gotten more comfortable with myself, and I've made some good friends.
Now I pay more attention and how my decisions will affect the future, whereas my freshman year, it was all about that very moment.
I'd say I've matured by not expecting people to pick you up every time you fall and learn how to do things on your own.
I think it's just having to grow up so fast and just be on your own, really.
I feel like I've totally solidified my goals, and I've realized that time's really short and that you just have to live up your moments and enjoy life to like the best that you can.
I feel like I've definitely gained some responsibility coming in freshman year.
I think my time management skills got better, and just like how to manage stress got better throughout high school.
I just think all the laughs. I mean, the thing about them, and that, especially in the select groups where most of the seniors are, they're funny. They see the humorous side of everything, and they always make me laugh. And after especially being off last week, it was just so nice to be with them today, because they just made me realize how much I miss teaching and how much I missed them.
It was them as a whole, it wasn't individuals. And I think the best memories I had for them is when we would walk into swim meets and they would get in and do their warm-ups, and they just looked as a whole a strong, respectable team that other kids would watch. And I think that spoke a lot about their work ethic, the fact that they wanted to be good and they wanted to be taken seriously. So that's probably what I'm most proud of and what I remember of them as seniors. And
Madam Eckel and I would say Miss Fraley and Miss Kennard have definitely been the ones to step out to me. They've been really great teachers.
Mr. Camps. He always gave me candy, and he's just really nice. He always does my paperwork, and he's very supportive.
My mom, she always pushes me to do good.
Either Rob Strong or my wrestling coach, just both of them have been there for me a lot, and just great people, yeah.
I'd say my coach, Mr. Strong, or Mr. Lewis.
Definitely Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis has been one of the biggest influences on my life in the last 4 years. He's always been there to help me solve a problem or just be my general life coach whenever I need it, and he's always been there to help guide me.
I would say Mr. Queen helped me the most here. He showed me what to do and everything and made it very clear to me.
Coach Tarleton, she has been around for everything, and she's always there for me, always trying to make me a better person.
My coach, Rob Strong.
Mr. Lewis, one of my teachers.
My family members, probably specifically my grandparents, have taught me how to treat other people with kindness and love.
Oh, my mom, shout out to you.
I say coaches. They always know the right advice, even like not sports related.
I'd say Chris Camps, coolest guidance counselor I've ever had.
Adversity, for sure. I have seen these seniors bounce back from not being at school, no prom, no sports, to enjoying life and showing really how to accomplish their goals. They just have really have impacted me in so many ways, positive ways. Good luck, seniors.
End of the junior year and pretty much the entirety of their senior year, they've lost homecoming, they've lost spring sports last year, they've lost the home football games for football, basketball, they've lost a prom at the end of last year. Hopefully that will come through for this year. They've lost a lot of really cool senior moments, but their resilience to keep smiling, to adapt, teaches us adults that we should probably chill out and be a little more flexible in our own lives, because kids are pretty resilient, pretty amazing, and I think that's what they've taught me, and I think that's what they've shown, and what will probably go down in American history as the most resilient class will be the class of 2021.
I want them to know that everything that is successful about our track program is because of them. Like, it isn't because I've done anything different. It's because they came in here, they knew what I wanted, they knew how I wanted things to go, and they've done that. And every kid that comes out to our program has seen that. Those kids have impacted kids below them, and so every year we're going to be successful. And people can say, oh, well, that I had an impact on that, but it's the kids. Like, they change things now. They've changed the culture, and that's all them. It's them coming in knowing, hey, this is what I expect, and then they reflected that. And they've done that from day one. And so, like, I'm gonna, 20 years from now when I'm retiring, I'm gonna remember this class simply because this was the class that all started with.
I would say homecoming decorations, definitely being in the building until late at night, trying to decorate the walls.
The keys to success, like dance battle when we were freshmen, yeah. Jason Shane was going off.
One time it was like a fever dream and I walked in the gym and Mr. Weaver was playing volleyball. It was very strange.
Definitely the first opening night for Sound of Music. I spent like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, every night at school till late, like running tech with lights and sound, and having it all finally come together. It really made me fall in love with the story and the characters, and it was definitely the most probably emotional I've seen a show be.
Riding the golf cart around after prom last year.
Our sophomore year league meet for track, and this guy won the 4x8 for us. What was your favorite sports moment?
Probably celebrating a league meet win on the bus coming home from a cross-country meet.
Probably winning the FAC championship.
It's got to be winning the FAC championship against Jackson in double overtime.
Same thing.
My favorite moment's definitely seeing Jacob Coughlin hit that field goal and rushing out of the field, beating Jackson.
The Sweetheart Swirl dances.
Mine was the parade they threw for me to hype me up for state.
I really liked the Mafia classes we had with Phillips. I always got out first. Well, Patrick Tracy always got out first, but then I got out second usually.
Graduates, please be seated. Good evening, everyone. I am Matthew Ballantyne, principal of Chillicothe High School, and I'm thrilled to welcome you here this evening as we gather to celebrate the commencement of the young men and women of the class of 2021. It is such a blessing to be able to be here in person as we celebrate the accomplishments of a graduating class that has persevered through unimaginable times. Let us all stand for the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you to Mrs. Kennard and the talented students of CHS's Symphonic Choir. Please give Mrs. Kennard and the Symphonic Choir, along with Mr. Watts, our orchestra director, and the CHS Orchestra, a warm round of applause for their contributions to this evening's ceremony. Once again, welcome, good evening, and congratulations to Chillicothe High School's graduating class of 2021. Before proceeding any further, I'd like to introduce a number of individuals involved in tonight's ceremony, and I'd ask, as these individuals are recognized, to please stand. Seated on the stage this evening is the superintendent of the Chillicothe City School District, Ms. Debbie Swinehart. Ladies and gentlemen, our district representative, Ms. Swinehart. Also on the stage this evening are members of Chillicothe City School District's Board of Education. Please welcome President Mrs. Liz Corzine, Vice President Mr. Jeff Hartmus, Mr. Sean Porter, and Mr. Kelly Dennis. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chillicothe City School District's Board of Education. Also in attendance this evening, seated near the stage, are those who oversee, serve, and advise Chillicothe High School students, including Mr. Daniel Staggs, Assistant Principal, Mr. Dustin Weaver, Assistant Principal, Mr. Chris Camps, the Class of 2021 School Counselor, and school counselors Mrs. Charity Armbruster and Mr. Mark Roush. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge these dedicated individuals with your applause. Members of the faculty and staff who have contributed to this special evening include, and please remain standing as I call your name, our administrative assistants, Miss Crystal Puckett and Mrs. Amy Winfield, senior class advisor and math educator, Miss Megan Clark, and finally, Mr. Brad Batson and Mrs. Tara Nicely, our faculty representatives voted by the class of 2021 to greet them prior to receiving their diploma. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these dedicated men and women, CHS employees, a well-deserved round of applause. Graduation is a kindergarten through 12th grade endeavor, and the Chillicothe City School District staff is one of our greatest assets. In particular, our staff is a major reason why our district's curriculum, extracurricular activities, and educational programs are so successful. This includes administrators, teachers, custodians, administrative assistants, bus drivers, aides, monitors, and cooks. Would all of the staff of the Chillicothe City School District who are in attendance this evening please stand to be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, the staff of Chillicothe City School District. Thank you to everyone who has been recognized for all that you do for our students, our school, and our community. And finally, there's a group of people here this evening that we must recognize because without them, this commencement ceremony would not be possible. Parents and guardians of the class of 2021, thank you for trusting us to educate your children. In addition, thank you to the support that you have provided your graduate along the way. Without your love and encouragement, it is very possible that your student would not be here this evening. Would all of the parents and guardians of the class of 2021 please stand to be recognized for all that you do for your children, our school, and our community. Some of our graduates will start their post-high school journey by entering the military to serve and honor our country. This path you have chosen gives us tremendous pride. Soon you will join the ranks of other veterans who have made significant personal sacrifices to advance and ensure the freedoms enjoyed by all Americans. Would all of the class of 2021 graduates who have made plans to enter the military, as well as all active servicemen and women, and veterans of armed services in attendance here today, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring those who have served our country. And now for a few words for our graduates. Imagine with me for just a moment that you are on a plane and you look out the window and you notice that one of the engines is completely engulfed in flames, to only be alerted that on the other side of the plane, the other engine is in the same condition. The fear that you're experiencing at that very moment of uncertainty as to what to expect in the future becomes overwhelmingly real. As you are slowly losing altitude, you recognize that one thing gives you hope, and that is that the wings are both intact, and you aren't plummeting to the ground. You are simply gliding through the sky. And this is similar to the feelings that many of us have felt on March 13th, 2020, as we were losing altitude in fear of what the future held. March 13th, 2020, a day that none of us will ever forget. It was the last day that we had normal school day for the 2019-2020 school year. And since that day in March of 2020, we have experienced fear, confusion, frustration, grief, anxiety, and loss due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Families have had to make adjustments to their daily lives that they could have never imagined. Parents, grandparents, and siblings became co-teachers, setting up makeshift classrooms within their homes while continuing to work, some at home, some on the front lines putting their own lives in danger. Teachers juggled planning lessons for their students while parenting their own children. Students picked up more hours at work, caught up on much-needed sleep, and improved their TikTok skills. All while attending Google Meets, Zoom meetings, becoming experts on Google Classroom, and trying to stay motivated engaged, and learning from a distance. Not an easy task for this very social, competitive class of 2021. We were fixing the airplane while it was still flying. Although uncertain times have brought challenges for everyone, they have also brought us gifts. Many graduation speeches will talk about slowing down, taking time to know the people around you, and trying to not work so hard. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had the opportunity to take a pause, a deep breath, and reflect on what is really important in our lives. It has allowed many of us to spend more time with our spouses, children, and siblings than they have in the past years. And I believe that the class of 2021 has chosen to begin a change that our world needs. The change to focus on appreciation, gratitude, support, and collaboration. You are the class that began a movement that showed a heightened appreciation for teachers, healthcare professionals, and all essential workers who risk their lives every day so that we can stay safe and healthy. In the midst of this panic around you, you let your wings spread far and wide as you allowed the winds to help you glide. You have shown gratitude for good health, both physical and mental, and socially distanced yourself from older family members for their safety, especially your grandparents. You are learning that this country and the world needs to support one another, to collaborate and advocate peacefully for social justice. So although this pandemic has taken many things from you, it has also given you the opportunity to highlight what is truly important: family, friends, health, and community. That's including Chillicothe and beyond. So as you continue your journey to change the world, do so by acknowledging, respecting, and celebrating our differences. Take the opportunity to find out more about what you have in common instead of focusing on what separates you. Find your voice, learn to use it, and take the time to listen to what other people are saying. Try to understand the other person's point of view, especially when it's different from yours. Always be kind and try to live with an open heart and an open mind. You will forever be that graduating class, the class that missed many events such as junior prom, senior homecoming, awards nights, participation in the C-section, just to name a few. And you will be that class that is known for having graduation at the O, a tradition that was last celebrated in 2005. Soon you will begin to have conversations and you'll hear yourself saying, "Oh yeah, those things happened before COVID-19. And no, that was pre-pandemic times." Or, "I remember when teachers and students were in the same room and we used to fill the gym with as many people as we could to watch basketball games. And we didn't even have to wear a mask." So take the lessons that you've learned during your time at CHS, not just in this past year, but your school career, and let them guide you, inspire you, and remind you that you are Cavalier strong. I know what I will be saying when those around me begin to complain or say things like, "This is too hard," or "We can't do that." I will say, well, let me tell you about the Chillicothe Schools class of 2021. They were the class that was resilient, tenacious, creative, talented, and resourceful. A class that began to change in our world, and they could handle anything that was thrown their way, even a pandemic. Class of 2021, take all these amazing qualities and continue to allow your wings to carry you, to glide you through wherever life takes you, whether it be good times or bad. Continue to persevere as you have this year. Congratulations, class of 2021. On behalf of the staff of Chillicothe City School District, we will miss you and we are proud of you. At this time, I'd ask that you direct your attention to the video board behind me as the symphonic choir, under the direction of Mrs. Kennard, sings the graduates class song entitled, I Lived.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't fear the fall.
Hope when the water rises, you build a wall.
Hope when the crowd screams out, they scream in your name.
Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Hope that you fall in love, it hurts so bad. The only way you can know is give it all you have.
And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all.
I owned every second that this world could give. So many places, the things that I did. Now with every broken bone,
I swear I live.
hope that you spend your days and they all add up. And when that sun goes down, you raise your cup.
And wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. Till my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all.
I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. So many places, the things that I did. Now with every broken bone,
I swear I live.
I swear I every broken bone.
I swear I live.
Every broken bone, I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. So many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I I swear
The next portion of our ceremony will feature speeches by 4 very talented students from the class of 2021. First, I'd like to call to the stage CHS valedictorian, Miss Abby Fisk. The son of Justin and Jennifer Fisk, Abby will attend The Ohio State University in the fall, and her speech is entitled, "Why the Chicken Crossed the Road."
Uh-oh. Good evening. My name is Abby Fisk, and I am honored to be speaking before you today as the valedictorian of the class of 2021. And on behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to thank all of the people who make Chillicothe High School such an amazing place. To the Board of Education, thank you for making today's ceremony possible and for supporting this class in all of our endeavors over the past 4 years. To the administration, thank you for constantly working to improve this school and provide opportunities to its students, even if that means we have to have a different bell schedule every year of high school. And to the teachers, counselors, coaches, and all other staff members, thank you for giving your all each and every day, working hard to provide us with a tremendous education and always pushing us to do our best, all the while taking the extra time to build relationships with us that for some will last a lifetime. I hope I speak for my entire class when I say that I am exceedingly grateful for my time at CHS and honored to call myself a Cavalier. I'm sure that at one point or another in your lives, you all have heard the joke, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side, of course. Well, I'm going to be honest, that's not a very helpful explanation. Hypothetically speaking, if you were this chicken, I highly doubt that one day you just up and decided to cross the road. I don't think you woke up on the right side of the chicken coop one morning and thought, ooh, today's the day, I'm going to cross 4 lanes of traffic. No, I bet your decision to cross the road went a little bit more like this. I bet you watched the road for weeks, months, years even, dreaming about and carefully observing the other side. I bet as a chicken, you stood and watched as other chickens crossed the road before you, making sure they didn't get arrested for jaywalking or hit by Evan Sibrel's blue pickup truck. I bet you watched as one by one everyone before you crossed the road, rejoicing and cheering when they made it to the other side, until only you remained. And then you knew. You knew whatever was on the other side was so exciting that you just had to cross the road, and it was your time to do so. And yes, the road looks scary. It is full of beat-up minivans, Mini Coopers, and blue pickup trucks. But it's what's on the other side that makes the mad dash through 4 lanes of traffic so worth it. Graduates, just like the chicken, it's time for us to cross the road. And while this might seem confusing, I'm daring you to be a chicken. Not in the traditional sense. No, I don't want you to chicken out. I hope you run. Okay. Run across 4 lanes of traffic, figuratively, not literally speaking, and don't stop until you make it to the other side. Don't stop until the grass is greener and you're where you want to be. College, a job, the military, whatever it may be for you, it's time to step out into the real world. It's time to step out into 4 lanes of traffic. And I hope whatever's on the other side excites you so much and has, as you've watched it for the past several years, that you just can't wait to make a crossy road type adventure through 4 lanes of traffic, and just like our hypothetical chicken, get to the other side. Graduates, thank you so much for laughing, crying, and cheering your way through the last 4 years with me. High school has been an incredible experience because of all of you. You are all unbelievably talented, and I cannot wait to see what you do on the other side of the road. Thank you.
Tremendous job, Abby. Thank you. Next up, Miss Abigail Pendell, salutatorian of the class of 2021, the daughter of Brad and Ann Pendell. Abby will attend Liberty University in the fall. Her speech is entitled, Embracing Change.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Abigail Pendle. I am the salutatorian of the class of 2021. I would like to start my speech today with a question. How many of you in the whole audience have watched the television show Seinfeld, just by a show of hands? All right, I see a lot more hands in the parent section than the student section, so hopefully you all will appreciate this reference. On December 18th, 1997, history was made. Sick of the commercialization and greed of Christmas, Frank Costanza invented a new holiday for his family, Festivus. In place of presents, there were the feats of strength. In lieu of a tree, there was an aluminum pole. Lastly, instead of going around and telling your friends and family how much they mean to you and how grateful you are for them, there is the airing of grievances. You tell everyone all the ways in which they have disappointed you within the past year. I've been thinking about this speech for a while now. At the end of last year, when COVID hit, I began dreading my senior year and dabbled with the thought of bringing that Festivus tradition to all of you today, complaining for 3 to 5 minutes about how we weren't able to have a C-section or a senior homecoming. But this school year progressed, and I changed my outlook, thus changing my mind on what I wanted to talk about today. Change. More specifically, that it's a gift. Change allows for versatility and personal growth. Without it, our lives would be stagnant and bland. We ought to embrace change as opposed to dreading it or resisting it. We couldn't fight the changes brought about by the global pandemic any more than we could swim against the current of the Ohio River, unless, of course, you're Evan Sibrel, in which case you might PR. If masks, social distancing, and quarantines weren't a big enough change for us, we are about to start an entirely new chapter in our lives by graduating. This may be something you've been anticipating since freshman year, or you could have loved high school and don't feel ready to leave quite yet. Either way, we aren't given a choice. There are good changes, there are bad changes, there are the awkward and uncomfortable changes Nurse Natalie had to explain to us during middle school. For some of those bad changes, all it takes is adapting our perspective and looking at it from a different angle. An example for me would be last summer when we were in lockdown. I was able to spend a lot of time with my family. This coexistence wasn't always harmonious, but it'll likely be our last real opportunity to spend time together. My older brother is at college now, and I'll be going to Virginia in the fall, so we may never all be under one roof again like that. So instead of looking at that time as my summer being ruined, I looked at it as a blessing from God to bond with my parents and brothers. The same principle can be applied to us moving on from high school. Whether we're going to start jobs, go to school, join the military, or travel the world, we're leaving high school behind. It's a new beginning. And in order to thrive, we must first embrace this change, accept it boldly, because we are strong, brave, and capable. We are Cavaliers. Thank you, class of 2021. You are my friends and peers, and I'm grateful to have had you in my life, even if it was for a short while. I wish you all the best, and remember that starships were meant to fly. Thank you.
Excellent message, Abby. Thank you. Next up, Mr. Luke Smith, our first senior class speaker. The son of Jeff and Allison Smith, Luke will attend the University of Akron in the fall, and his speech is entitled, The Next Chapter.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to represent the class of 2021 as the class speaker. I'd like to first thank the students. We made it. To the parents and guardians, thank you for all the ways you have supported your graduate. To my teachers, thank you. An extra special thank you to Mrs. Orr, Mrs. Coulter, Mr. McCorkle, Mrs. George, and Miss Eckel. You guys truly helped shape the person I am here today. Class of 2021, life is a book. As we have learned in every English class, all books have a beginning, middle, and an end. As we sit here today, we are closing one chapter and beginning another. Whether you're sitting here today as valedictorian or just barely made it here today, you made it. After today, this chapter is officially closed and will become part of our past. If your story has been smooth sailing up to this point, that's great. If it has been one of the roughest and toughest stories, I'm sorry. The good thing is that we hold the pen on how the rest of our story will be told. We are now the authors, and we will determine if our story is a bad one, a good one, or a great one. It's no longer our parents, our guardians, or our schools. It's all on us to make every chapter count, and please don't forget that life will have a unique way of adding its own chapters along the way, but we must strive to make all of it, the good, the bad, and the unfortunately ugly, all to our good. Whatever your hopes, goals, and dreams may be, chase them and never ever give up. Never be afraid of failing either, because failure is the secret ingredient required for success. Marissa Meyer once said, "If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room." Surround yourself with others who are reaching higher, and you will see a change in your own life. And one more thing, always remember your value. A $100 bill is worth $100. Even if I were to crumble it up and throw it down on the ground, its identity and value remain the same. So when life knocks you down, stay strong, stay motivated, and always remember your worth. Stay true to who you are, because you are smart, you are kind, and you are important. I wish each and every one of you the best of luck with your future endeavors. And never forget, once a Cavalier, always a Cavalier. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Finally, this year, we have a second senior class speaker, Mr. Josh Fowler. The son of Robert and Amy Fowler, Josh will attend Clark Summit University in the fall, and his speech is entitled, "That One Act of Kindness."
Thank you, everyone, for gathering here today for this long awaited ceremony. Famous film actor and stuntman Jackie Chan once said, "Sometimes it takes only one act of kindness and caring to change a person's life." As I was preparing what I would talk about, I realized that while there are many of you that know me, there are still quite a few of you who have never seen me before and have no idea who I am. My name is Joshua Fowler, and this was both my first and last year here at Chillicothe High School. And I will say that even though it was my strangest school year, it was by far my favorite. When I started to attend here, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'll admit I was quite nervous. However, after my first day, I realized that I had absolutely nothing to worry about. The students were kind, with a few of them doing the simple act of inviting me to sit with them in lunch so that I wouldn't have to sit alone. The teachers were kind, caring about their students' personal lives as much as they did for their educational welfare. And then the whole school itself. As I got involved with the orchestra and the quiz bowl team, I believed it when people would see, "It's great to be a Cavalier," because I could see that everyone who attended this wonderful place had a certain pride and respect for Chillicothe High School. Over the past many years, we have talked about how impactful a simple act of kindness can be in someone's life. And it can start to sound like a broken record, just being repeated over and over again. At least, that's how it began to sound to me, until I experienced the power that kindness possesses firsthand from this school, from these people. As much of an achievement and honor that completing 13 years of schooling is, it is also just as great of an achievement and an impact to be kind to other people, no matter how or where it took place. In closing, I would like to challenge each and every one of you, not just those wearing the caps and gowns, but those who raised us, those who taught us, and those watching now and learning from our example. I'd like to ask that you search out the relationships of people who are kind to you, and be kind to other people and make them want to be with you. No, you may not be the most popular, and you may not be with the most popular of people, but you will be happier, and others will be happier around you. Be that one act of kindness that changes someone's life, the way that you have been the one that changed mine. I wish you all well, and congratulations to everyone.
Wonderful job, Josh. Thank you. Regrettably, prior to the presentation of the class of 2021 and the announcement of graduates, we must pause to recognize members of the class of 2021 who did not have the opportunity to be here this afternoon with their graduating class due to untimely and unfortunate deaths. Chase Fink and Tristan Tyler were both beloved students at Chillicothe High School. Chase was a light-hearted, caring young man who loved his friends deeply. He was always joking and having fun. He was extremely smart, thoughtful, and caring toward others. Tristan was also a very caring individual, someone who would fiercely protect those with whom he was closest. He had a heart of gold. He cared deeply about his son, and he wanted to do his best to do right by him, to show him that if Dad could do it, he could do it too. Several members of Tristan's family are present with us this afternoon. Accepting an honorary diploma on Tristan's behalf are Christiana Kibbe and Tristan and Christiana's child, Jordan Tyler. I ask Cavalier Nation to put their hands together in a round of applause for one of our own, Tristan Tyler, as Christiana and Jordan come to the stage to accept his diploma. Graduates, you'll notice as you walk across the stage this evening, a red rose. These roses have been placed there in memory of Tristan and Chase as members of the class of 2021, who are gone but never forgotten. Even in death, we will remember each of them as part of the Cavalier family. Students, the presentation of a diploma to a deceased member of the class of 2021 serves as a reminder that our time on this earth is limited. What will you do, class of 2021, with the time that you have? Consider that as you celebrate here tonight with what is hopefully just one of many milestones attained throughout your life. And now, Ms. Swinehart, members of the Board of Education, faculty, parents, guardians, alumni, and friends of Chillicothe High School. As principal of Chillicothe High School, it is my pleasure and privilege to present to you the class of 2021. Students who have met all of the requirements mandated by the state of Ohio's Department of Education and those of Chillicothe High School, certified by Chillicothe City School District's Board of Education, are entitled to receive a diploma signifying graduation from Chillicothe High School. At this time, members of the Board of Education, Mrs. Swinehart, and I will present diplomas.
You guys ready? Hang on, buddy. Presenting diplomas at this time is Board President Mrs. Liz Corzine. Craig Edward Wright, Jr. Braden C. Jones. Jacob Andrew Holycross. Kayla R. Southern. Mariah Renee Arms. Marissa Nicole Gonzalez Daniels. Maurice William Thomas. Tempest Ryder Russell. Graduating with honors, Angel L. Miller. Abigail Olivia Strasball. Carrie Ann Marie Cousins. Diamond Sapphire Keaton. Jermaine Angelo Abington. Kinley Aylin Hansford. Jesse R. Hughes. Wyatt T.A. Wheeler. Christina Nicole Angus. Now presenting diplomas will be Mr. Jeff Hartmus. Is he okay? Kelsey Detillion. Lillian Grace Williams. Graduating with honors, Harrison Graham Myers. Graduating with honors, Micah N. Hawk. Graduating with honors, Landon T. Rippeth. Charles J. Holm. Asiana Marie Farrow. Alexis M. Henderson. Jasmine Alexis Mejia. Carly Michelle Bachatz.
Brianna Michelle Paul. Nakaya L. Colvin. Hope Anna Marie Meeks. Ashton Nicole Reister. Shaylin Lashana Leanne Tisdale. Gavin Hunter Cheney. Jada Mae Kaplinger. Tammy Marie Forbes. Davin M. Van Hooser Pope. Kiana Renee Anderson. Lainey Jo A. Hartley. Donovan Anthony Carango. Brian Mitchell Kite. Trenton Michael Barrows. Madison Avenel George. Lucas Isaiah Barr. Alanis Sky Hensley. Elizabeth Kathleen Kasulki. Heaven Lee James. Mackenzie D. Miller. Julia Matei Cottrell. Kaylee Ann Cottrell. Jonathan Wesley Kuntz. Jalen R. Deddy. Now presenting diplomas is school board member Mr. Sean Porter. Desiree Faith Ann Ratliff. Paul Daniel Ratliff. Jacob Levi Courier. Gage Preston Ray.
Robert D. Jones. Freedom L. Gouchon. Hunter P. Bryans. Aaron C. Ellis. Damon Eli Corrales. Graduating with honors, Natalie Stetzer. Graduating with honors, Ashley Brianna Traylor. Graduating with honors, Quentin M. Skinner. Braxton Evan James. Ryan Matthew Comfer. Lonnie Richard Darling. Joseph Lee Armentrout. Graduating with honors, Jillian Alexis Elliott. Now presenting diplomas is school board member Mr. Kelly Dennis. Ciante Irene Beverly. Cole Burton Clifford. Jaile Shantae Renee Harris. Taylor Elizabeth Howbow. Malia Beverly. Landon A. Case. Hunter M. Hughes. Ricky J. Madrew. Oh, okay. Presenting the next diploma will be Miss Alicia Gray. Peyton Anthony Bronston Howard. Jonathan Michael Cardenas Simpson. Victoria Lynn McGraw. Haley Joe Leach. McKiley Rose Hufford. Mackenzie Ray Hufford. Ryzen J. Hurls. Isaiah Allegree. Gabriel Lee Southwick. Brianna Keaton.
Congratulations, graduates. We're extremely proud of you and your accomplishments. At this time, would everyone please stand and direct your attention to the video board behind me as the CHS Symphonic Choir sings Chillicothe High School's alma mater, the Blue and White. Thank you to the Symphonic Choir and Mrs. Kennard. A reminder to our audience, we have a standing tradition to conclude our commencement ceremony with a recessional. It is requested that the audience remain standing in the bleachers or at their seats until the entire graduating class of 2021 has exited the field. When the orchestra stops playing, that will be your cue to leave your seats and join the graduates around the field. And now, as principal of Chillicothe High School, it is my pleasure to state that you, the class of 2021, may move your tassels. I now pronounce you graduates of CHS. It gives me great pleasure to present to all in attendance these graduates. I invite you to remain standing and applaud the graduating class of 2021 as they exit the field, and feel free to congratulate them following the recessional. Thank you and good night.